Okay, installing a wiper motor on any boat is actually a pretty difficult thing to do, and in this particular boat actually, which is a Lund 2075, you know, space is really tight, but with all the obstacles that were against us, we have the steering column here runs up the center here, and like in my particular situation, we actually put a hardtop on our Lund here, so we also have a brace here that's in our way, so there's very little space in there to put a motor in, but eventually actually we figured it out. You know, it'll park exactly where we want it to park. You know, when I stop it here, you'll see it'll park right there. That's 2-speed on this, and we also have a little washer in here as well, which actually you can get on Amazon. But it works pretty good, and of course whenever I stop it, in other words, if I let it coast and I press the button, it will stop and park exactly where I want it. It will go as far as I want it to go, and it will stop exactly where I want it to go, and that was the challenge here. I'll give you a demo on the Roco 12 wiper. You know, it's a difficult decision on what type of wiper to buy, because in my particular application, you know, I had to, or I will have to, actually mount it vertical like this one here. Simple reason for that is that I have, you know, so much stuff in the way. I have the steering column in here, and also I have the brace for the hardtop right in my way. So all the aces are against me, and that is the reason why I have it vertical. Anyway, why the Roco 12 here? Because you know, it's a difficult choice trying to find a wiper motor that is going to fit in your particular boat. But this one had, you know, the best options as regards the adjustability. Number one, you know, the defining figure was the length of the shaft here, and this one here actually, this comes in different models to let you know that it comes in, like, you know, 2-inch and I think it's 2.5 or whatever, but this one here is the longest one that they make, and it's 3.5 inches. Well, why 3.5 inches? Because in my scenario here, I have to get over a lip on the front of the boat in order for this to come over and go back onto the windshield. Let me explain to you the adjustabilities on this thing. The number one feature that it has, to me, actually, for a start, was that when you attach it to the end of the shaft here, well, this is serrated in here, and that gave me the idea, actually, that I could mount this in whatever way I wanted to, and tighten it here in any angle that I wished it to do. But in my particular case here, all I wanted it to do, you know, and eventually I got it to do that, was to go vertical and then go down and hide behind my garment, which is right here. So eventually, I actually, with all the adjustments that I had, I could eventually make it do that. So where are the adjustments? Well, number one, as we talked about, we have the shaft right here. Number two is there's 2 little slots right here on this pendulum that you can, you know, manually, you know, I'm not going to do it now because actually I've got this thing pretty much where I want it to be, but you would loosen these 2 guys and then you would hold it. Now what you have to take into consideration is you have a park left and a park right. Right now I have it set to park right. So down in here, you know, I'll get to it in a second actually, but let me talk about this pendulum here. So whatever adjustment you make in this direction, it's going to affect the pendulum in the other direction. So what you have to do actually is have this one, if you want it to stop there, which it is right now, you stop it a little shorter than that. So in other words, when you come back up here, well, it's going to be over there. Then you would take it off, straighten it up, and of course the other part of the pendulum would make it go to where you want it to go, which is exactly where I have it right now. Now once you've figured out, you know, how to do the 2 adjustments here on the pendulum, to make your life easy, you know, right in behind here, you know, you can see the bottom one there pretty clearly, but that is your park left and your park right. Actually, it's a little up there, so you kind of have to go up underneath the little thing here to find it, but it's there. And basically it's a little switch, you push it, and it's pretty strong actually. I use this thing here. So, well, anyway, what you'll use that actually when you're trying to get the infinite adjustments. You'll find it park it this way, and if you're wrong, then you park it the other way. One last little adjustment that it has here is that the wiper itself will actually slide in and out, you know, a little bit like this here, and then of course manually you're going to have to bend this back to your motor. When you get this, it's pretty straight, so you're going to have to bend it back. In my particular application, I got to bend it back, you know, about that much, for it to hit the windscreen, and I may have to bend it a little bit more. But anyway, getting to the wiring here, which can be a little bit overwhelming in the beginning, but there's a couple of dead giveaways on this. You know, you can go through the colors here: the green, brown, red, and the black. Strangely enough, actually, the brown here actually is the ground, believe it or not. But the dead giveaway, when you come to actually wiring up the switch here, which is called a wiper rocker switch, is that red wire here, or not the red wire, the yellow wire here. The yellow wire, there's a little jumper wire that's actually on the switch here, and what that is, what I can gather what it is that is your park. So in other words, you will see the current actually, or the live current or the positive current going to it, and then basically what happens is there's two switches, believe it or not. There's another switch actually inside in the motor itself, which basically will coast the motor. Actually, it has two speeds as well, to let you know that. When I hit the off switch, that's not the off switch, this is the off switch here, it'll coast down to the park position, whether you've set it right or left. And that's where your little yellow wire, your jumper wire, comes in here. So what happens there is, internally within the motor here, there's another switch in there that just continues that current for that few seconds, or split second, 2 seconds maybe, and that will stop the motor in whatever you set the switch up into here. But when you look at it, and you look at the diagram that's here, hopefully this will come out pretty good. The dead giveaway here is that little angle right there. So that tells you where your rocker switch is. You can see it here, this angle. So I actually just looked at this, looked at that, and then you follow the wires back along. I haven't it fused yet, but I will fuse it. But a little bit confusing, because you would think the black wire would be the ground wire, but it's actually not. It's the brown wire, and then the other wires, you can figure it out pretty easily by putting them in there. I could go into huge detail on this rocker switch, but and as you can see, all the wires are red here. I'm not going to run off and buy different colored wires here. I pretty much know which each one goes on it. But follow the diagram here. Just look at this one here, and then come over to this side, and it will tell you the black, the green, the red, and the brown, where they go on this map here. And of course, you go back here, you'll see it. You know, the F there, which is the fast, the S, which is the slow, the P, which is the park, and obviously the last one, the G, which is the ground, which is actually the brown wire. But depending on your application, if you actually wanted this thing to go all the ways over, you wanted to mount it in the middle, and you had the space for it, and you could mount it the way it's supposed to be put on, you could definitely make this thing go all the ways back and forth and have it park right or left. It's pretty, you know, that's the one reason why I got this thing, because of the adjustments on it. And you can see, you know, with their diagrams here, what it can and can't do. It does quite a lot. So hopefully it will fit, and let's put it on the boat. Alright, as you can see, the motor is in, and everything works pretty good actually. You can see it here. I changed my mind as regards the parking of this. I was going to actually have it parked down here. Let me give this a little bit of juice here so it's easier. But we have a crystal clean view right now. We actually have slow speed, and we also have a fast speed. And as you can see, we got it parked exactly on the left here, which is working out pretty good. As an added thing here, I thought about it, but for 20 bucks on Amazon, you get one of these little washer units here, and you know, for 20 bucks I said I'll give it a go. You know, the button that it comes with is a piece of crap actually, so I got this other button here, and as you can see, it works pretty good. You know, now we have Rain X all season on demand here. Down in there, there's a little bracket that we made a little box in there for it, so we can mount it on that and remove it and fill it up. I'll probably end up actually using probably a battery operated unit. You get it for 10 bucks on the Harbor Freight, and just stick it in there and just pump it in. But anyway, bit challenging, and as you can see, we get a crystal clear view right now, and it will park exactly where we want it to park. Button's off now, so it'll park there. But anyway, there was a method to my madness when you choose actually a shaft that's 3.5 inches long, because that way, you know, I could adjust this in and out here, because the challenge here is to get this little lip here, to get it back over onto the windscreen. And as you can see, it does a beautiful job actually. But anyway, getting back to this arm here, that's another challenge that we may actually revisit. What we may end up doing actually is taking the pin out of here and try adjust the little cam. We might actually wear it, you know, grind it down or whatever, so we can get a better looking arm here. In my situation, I had to make it stop here because I have the hardtop on the boat here, so we have this bar here. So all the aces were against me when it came to installing this. Now another point I'd like to make is the very fact actually that I had to bend the arm here. You know, for now it works fine, but we will revisit that. But anyway, you know, the clip that goes into it here, actually what happens is, you know, it kept popping out at me. So we put a piece of an electrical tie in here to hold it down. Not the prettiest in the world, but without that it'll continuously pop out. I mean, it clips in pretty good, but then what happens is, you know, under pressure it pops back out again. So down the road, you know, we will try. I mean, if I could find one I could, but it seems to me like that all the marine wipers and arms, they all seem to come from China. You know, when you go to different brands, they all look the same. You look at them and says that's the same thing with a different name. So you're going to have that issue to deal with. But I think what we'll do is we will work on the cam here, and when we do that, then if we can get this to move, that's the max it will go. It won't go any more than that. So what we'll do is adjust the cam. If we can't do that, then what we'll do is we'll use the sprocket that's on it here, or the splice that's on it here, and then we'll fabricate our own arm here. Basically all it is an arm and a spring. There's nothing to it. Another challenge was this little little jet that we have here. If you get the little $20 Amazon one that's there, you know, it works great, but don't even bother using the little nut that comes behind this. All you got to do is drill a hole here carefully in here, and as you can see it comes out the back. We'll put some silicone on that, and that will work fine. And also, look, we can adjust this little thing back and forth if we wish, but right now it's set right. But you have to get it out far enough so it shoots that water up there. The first time we put it on, it was just going to here, and then it wasn't going to the top. But now it works pretty good. Not for everybody. I mean, you can use the Rain-X if you wish, but you know, I fish in salt water, and we fish in tidal waters where there's an awful lot of debris going down the river, so we need to be able to see out that windscreen. And for a while there I was giving up on this. I said it can't be done, but very happy with it. We'll fine tune it, but now I have a beautiful view and I'm very happy with it. Alright, hopefully that helps, and I'll see you in the next one.